Hey there, 𝐏𝐲𝐭𝐡𝐨 here, and my students like to call me Coach Joe. And guess what my purpose is? To help teens reach their maximum potential. And that is why I search high and low to create programs that enhance not only their learning experience and skills, but also helps them create a better profile, a stellar profile for college. As you all know, it's nothing new to speak about, but preparing for college is intense. The competition is simply too much. It's staggering. So how is it that a high school student can stand out? I mean, that is what colleges are looking for. What is your passion? What is your talent? Did you spend time in following what your interest is? What was the outcome of it? Do you have like tangible results to show what is it that you have achieved, right? And how deeply you went in learning something, or for that matter, put in that effort to create something, solve a problem, right? So these are the kind of activities that colleges are looking for. And it's imperative that students make an effort to stand apart, right? And so that's why I created many research programs. One of them that has been running for 3 years with Dr. 𝐏𝐲𝐭𝐡𝐨𝐵 is research in the biomedical field, right? And I have students who want to pursue AI and biomedical and everything and do research on that and write a research paper. But the biggest problem that I have seen is their lack of knowledge of a programming language for research. It can be R or it can be Python. But Python is the most popular language that is out there. And there's a common misconception that students need to learn Python only if they're pursuing a computer science major. That's not true at all. Researchers doesn't matter what field you're going into. If your passion is research, then it's very important that you know Python, basically to synthesize the data, right? So any research is not complete if you do not present data to substantialize your hypothesis. Right? So that is the problem that I saw, and I would give assessments to see what is their skill level and knowledge level in Python, and they came short. They didn't pass the qualification test, and as a result, they could not pursue AI in my research program. And also, I do run an AI program where the prerequisite is Python. And yet again, I get students who say, yeah, I had done a Python course from online. I'm self-learned. I created something and everything. But what pandemic has taught us that online learning without an instructor is not entirely effective, right? Although I resisted for so many months because I didn't want to create another course, but I was forced to. I'm like sort of forced to mentor students in Python because there's a gaping hole, and it's a huge impediment to pursuing the higher level AI, machine language, data science, cybersecurity, or cryptocurrency, or whatever that is. Python is the fundamental baseline programming language that they need to do in order to pursue that. And I am going to be releasing research in cybersecurity under an expert who's a professor in a renowned college in summer. But guess what? I'm very apprehensive in selecting students who are not proficient in Python, right? Proficient, and that's the reason I wanted to introduce Python, and I wanted to show basically 10 reasons why students need to pursue Python. Like, all students need to pursue Python, not just the ones that are going to pursue computer science as their major. So are you ready for the presentation? Okay, so here we go. 10 reasons why all kids need to learn Python, not just the regular students who are pursuing like the major. I would say just about everybody, because of the benefits. As I was doing more research, I love to do research when I'm starting something. Basically, I dug deep to find out what is it about Python and why is it a big deal? Why is it that students need to sort of not just be familiar with Python, but know how to use it? And you'll be blown away with the 10 reasons that I have. Okay, so yes, so why do high school students need to learn Python programming? Python is a very versatile language. It's great for learning. Like, the syntax and everything is easy. It's like a natural language that you sort of use, right? It's like almost like communicating in your normal language with a few syntax. So that's one of the main reasons, and it's very versatile and easy to kind of use. Okay, the number one reason is it's an important skill, right? The world is going digital. It's going completely virtual, and not knowing a programming language to sort of analyze data and be able to create a logic or solve a problem is going to be a setback. So it's a digital world. Doesn't matter what field you are in. It's very important to know a programming language. Why not Python, right? Next is, this is something that I find very interesting, is teens are like sponges, right? They can absorb knowledge very easily. Their brain capacity, their processing speed is like really superior, right? As compared to adults. It's almost 10 times that they can absorb knowledge at that. And like, they are so fertile. Their learning is fertile. They have this openness about learning, and it's really a very good time to sort of introduce this well in their high school time, right? Because foundationally they get it in their inception of it, and they will be able to use it and do more advanced things as they go along. And also, like I mentioned, the third reason is it's easy for beginners as compared to like Java or even R, the other programming language. Python is easy. It's more straightforward, easy to read, doesn't have like 10,000 rules. It's quite intuitive. It can be learned pretty quickly. Instantaneous results. It caters very well to our generation, which is into like instant results. Oh, show me, I just created a program, I need to see it like quickly, show me the output. So Python really does that. It absolutely the teens learn very quickly, and they can turn any of their ideas that they have into real life applications, right? The fourth is, like I mentioned already, research. Any research that you do, it doesn't matter if you're doing research in business or law or everything, the cornerstone of any research is providing data to substantiate your claim, to substantiate your hypothesis, right? A research is not complete if you don't back it up with data, right? And how do you manipulate the data? Excel spreadsheets. That's like just so old school. Macros to a certain degree, but most of the data is available on this platform called 𝐏𝐲𝐭𝐡𝐨 dataset. If you don't know about it, go and Google and look into that. You will get data set or data or statistics or anything for any topic that is out there. But the data that you get from 𝐏𝐲𝐭𝐡𝐨 or any other source, they are raw data. They are like raw CSV file, right? So how is it that you develop patterns, you develop analysis based on that, right? So Python is extremely, extremely powerful for that, and it's extremely important for data analysis. Okay. And also the fifth reason, and I feel like this is the most important reason, is learning Python forces students to enhance their logical thinking, right? Creatively solve their problems, right? And abstract their ideas. They have an idea, but how do you go about implementing that without giving them a proper tool to use that, right? So that way, Python really helps them with that. Problem solving, critical thinking, all these kind of like logical reasoning. All these kind of skills you need to use when you're trying to code with Python, and that is one of the things that students don't really learn or flex or use it, because if you do your day-to-day academics, it's science and math and English, but the way to develop your child's learning skills and brain power is through logical reasoning, critical thinking, puzzles, and all that. When my children were growing up, both of them, I spent 20 minutes a day making them solve puzzles. They were complex puzzles. And the intention was for them not to find the actual answer, but try to figure out finding the answer and try to solve the problem. I did give these strategies and resources to other parents, and they're like, oh my God, my child couldn't solve this. I'm like, that's perfectly fine. But they spent time in trying to solve it, and that is what you're doing here with Python, right? It's sort of replaced the puzzle book and the critical thinking books that anybody can use in middle or high school. Okay, and also Python is completely mathematical, right? It's all like algebra, and all the syntax is more mathematics. So if your child's favorite subject is not math, then Python is certainly going to help them. If it's math is their favorite, it'll also help, right? It's a lot math heavy. And that is like important, right? When you're taking like complex AP courses like AP Calculus, AB, BC, Statistics, and all that, you need to have superior math skills, problem solving skills, and everything, right? The free response questions and all that. You need to be a problem solver, right? I have seen students like taking on AP Calculus and really struggling with it. They struggle with pre-calc itself in the first place, and the struggle is even more when they come to the AP Calculus and Statistics part of it, because it's a college level course, right? Without having strong math skills, It's difficult, and Python helps with that, right? How cool is that? Next is computing skills. Like they do play a lot of video games. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. Like, the generation is that they play video games. It's necessary. So they are gaining those computing skills, right? The keyboard and the software skills and everything, because the future is a digital world, right? They are enhancing those kind of skills for that. There's a lot of mathematical computation. There are a lot of functions that are part of Python that they need to learn, and that's certainly going to help them even with their standardized tests, right? The SAT, ACT, that's very important. ACT especially is geometry heavy as compared to SAT, and ACT has a whole science section which is actually statistics, which is actually math, right? So certainly Python is only going to flex your brain and improve, like make it much faster. Next is creativity, right? You cannot let your creativity out if you only do what is being told in school. Yes, school is there, you have the curriculum and everything, but how do you enhance your creativity, right? Like this is going to help them. They're just going to write a code based on their imagination and their problem solving skills. They're going to get feedback on the small projects that they create, and it's going to like help them with the whole process, right? They are going to start thinking differently. The whole idea behind learning a programming language is a shift in their thinking, and that's like a very, very important to develop in the high school, right? In taking on that course load. I constantly keep hearing from parents who need help with how students can tackle AP courses and other complex courses, right? You can't like just focus on academics and say, that's it, I'm going to make my child sit and study and only focus on the grades. I mean, that's not how learning happens, right? Learning happens through programs that are on the periphery. You do those programs on the periphery, gain that knowledge, which is going to help you in the core program. Got it? So that is another factor, the 8th factor, why high school student needs to learn Python. Next is Python is addictive. I rather have a student get addicted to Python than their Fortnite or their video game and do something productive, right? So because of the simplicity, the elegance of the way the program is, it's easy. Like it's like the way our brain works is instant gratification. They do something small, they see an outcome, they're like, oh, I can do something better, and they're going to keep going on and on about it, because the syntax and everything, like Java programming, JavaScript, and all that is a little bit more complex and heavy, but a program like Python is fairly easier. My son also, my older son, who's in Georgia Tech, who's going to graduate, he did research under Dr. Apavu. Got it? He was participating in a competition on the 𝐾𝐲𝐭𝐡𝐨 dataset as to how to predict brain tumor, like biopsy in brain tumor. You get it? Like biopsy to do the brain tumor is basically inserting an injection into your brain and collecting fluid, right? That's a very intrusive and dangerous process. So there was an effort where they would collect images from the like the X-rays and all the kind of MRIs and all that. It would be like in the form of an image, and Dr. Apavu provided those images, and my son had to use Python to sort of gather a pattern, right? Basically, there were a bunch of images, and he had to write a Python code to go and look at those images, create a pattern, and see whether come to a conclusion, more accurate conclusion, if that particular patient really needed the intrusive biopsy, or the treatment could be sort of done and predicted without doing that intrusive process. So you see the powerfulness of AI and predictability and everything in the field of medicine, or anywhere for that matter, right? And Python is the basic for that. So that effort drew him into the biomed field. He was so impressed. He wanted to explore that, and right now he's working in Moderna as his internship. And he keeps calling me and he says, "Mom, they're developing a vaccine for cancer." And I'm coding all that. He's like a computer coder. He's like a computer science graduate in a biomedical field, because he likes to analyze data and all that. And he's a heavy Python user. Right? So that is why it is. And I keep asking him, "Dude, which is a fairly easier language, Java or Python?" He's like, "Mom, Python, Mom. This is so easy." It's like that. So Python is addictive. And of course, the last but not the least, okay, a sense of accomplishment, right? When they write a tiny one-line code and it does something, it shows a result, there's instant gratification, there's a sense of accomplishment, and we need to positively motivate our kids into doing that. And something that they've worked so hard, so diligently, and when the results of their accomplishment is shown, then it really does well for their overall being, right? So these are the 10 points, or 10 benefits, or the 10 reasons why high school students need to pursue Python. Got it? Python rocks! I truly feel that, right? I'm biased to Python. I'm all Pythoning. But it truly does. And I feel if you are a beginner programmer wanting to test your waters, it's pretty good, because my students have gotten into Stanford and other colleges by highlighting their AI experience. And you can just jump into AI or complex technologies without having a solid background in Python, right? You want to do cybersecurity, you need to know Python. You want to do AI, you need to do Python. You want data science, you need to know Python. Even my business research that I was planning, the professor said, "Oh no, I need somebody with Python, because I want them to quickly analyze the data and come up with results." So that is why the Python course is so important. And in the future, technology is developing very, very fast, and we've got to keep up with it, right? So that is it, guys. The benefits of Python. Let's go. Any questions, just type it in here and I will answer them. So until then, ciao and take care. Bye now.